But there are signs that these are called symptoms. These are symptoms that brain freeze or whatever you call it. These are symptoms that we need to do something about it. Okay, you're still fully functional. You have these kind of things happening once in a while. If you don't say, nobody will notice this, but you notice it yourself. So these are symptoms, huh? So take note of these symptoms. Now, if you look at these symptoms, you realize it's just about everybody. It's just about everybody has gone through one or two of these symptoms, or maybe more, right? So it's a very common thing. Now, anybody keep losing your things? He left his handphone in a Grab that I know in the business who sit down and just doze off. Okay, for some reason they sit down. Once one thing start to, whether the person is attending a lesson or not, he doze off. He or she doze off. Okay, I know. Okay, anybody have that before? And this doze off is not the once in a while doze off, especially all the time. Okay, so the brain is shutting down for some reason. Lily, you say yourself, I didn't say it's you. Because we are going into mental health, I think I need to clarify a few things. Now, mental health is a continuum. Okay, it's a continuum. What does it mean when I say it's a continuum? That means it goes into a certain range. First of all, when you have mental fitness, your emotion is superior. Your social function is great. Ready for energized for any changes. Your mood is resilient. You can handle the emotional things that comes along, strong impulse, aware of your emotions. You're very aware when you're sad and all this. When you're happy, your sleep pattern is very consistent. Now, all this are what we call mental fitness. You're fit. Okay, not many people are in that arena. Not many, but there are not many. Then after that, most people are around here. We call still normal, but a little bit weaker than the normal sleep patterns, good impulse control, ready to face challenge, enjoy work and all that. Still okay. But there is a group of people who will go into the reacting zone. Okay, their social life is impacted, emotional functioning is impacted. They are relatively anxious, nervousness, irritability. The same. Let's say a supervisor is going to this zone. The subordinate who normally, when they make this kind of mistake, they don't jump suddenly. The fellow raised the voice. Okay, it's gone to that levels. Then after that, they'll say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't know why I raised. So it's troublesly act early. You don't deal with it early, it actually progresses and it goes to another area, okay, which needs professional help. So if you're wondering, we're going to launch the MYND360 program. Where does it come in the application? It comes in the application when you're still healthy. Okay, when you go into the injured or ill, when you're mentally ill, you need professional help already. So that is the cutoff line. Okay, we are here for a very big market, and I'm pretty sure you're beginning to hear of younger people, especially school-going children, having depression cases. How many of you heard of children having depression cases nowadays? Anyone? Any one of you heard of, because of the environment they're going through? And we are beginning to COVID-19 lockdown. Some people go through this. The healthier ones will just hover around here. Those people who are a bit weaker will actually go into this one. And it does happen. Okay. And anorexia and so forth. Okay. So it is happening, and it's beginning to, and the company sort of say, there must be something we can do about it. And allow me to differentiate between a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and a neurologist, so people cannot seem to make the difference. I think is Jay inside here? Jay is studies psychology in university, isn't it? Okay, so what does a psychologist do? A psychologist deals with a mental disorder, and I'm talking about professional help one, professional help one, and they do therapeutic intervention. Talking to the person, counseling the person, and all this. A psychiatrist deals with mental illness, okay, and they are actually medical doctors who specialize in the field of psychiatry, and they can issue drugs when drugs are required as an intervention. You use mouth talk, no use already. You got to use drug already. Okay, that's where a psychiatrist come in. Okay, and what about a neurologist? Actually deal with brain illness. okay, where medical and surgical intervention is required already. Okay, so what are these? For example, psychologists deal with depression, bipolar disorder in a milder form, addiction, some form of addiction, ADHD, that kind of thing. Alcohol use disorder, eating disorder. This one, Elaine has an eating disorder. She eats a lot, but she don't put on weight. It's called eating disorder to me, okay? And then anxiety, specific phobia, scared of thing. Anybody has a phobia? You see the thing only, you freeze. Okay, it can be a lot of things, huh? Okay, it can be then they'll refer them to a psychiatrist already. Okay, and bipolar disorder, if it's too serious, that need medical intervention. Eating disorder lah, addiction, etc., etc. Okay, we don't anyhow say this eating disorder. A lot of people say I have an eating disorder because I eat whole food. Just because I don't eat processed food, I have a eating disorder. Those people, I tell you, I don't have an eating. Those people who eat processed food all the time has an eating disorder, not us. Okay, and of course the neurologist, sometimes the psychiatrist say, this person's behavior, I suspect something is growing in the head, something is wrong with the brain. Send to a neurologist, epilepsy, stroke, headache, you got headache that doesn't go away one. Alzheimer's disease, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease. Biggest difference is in their salary. Of course, neurologists make the most, followed by psychiatrists, and psychologists a bit poorer. Okay, so the poorest one is a psychometrist. People like myself, poorest among all these three. Okay, so these are basically the professional help. And we do not get into this area. This area, why? Because the stress of going through all this, you may land up in one of these after a while. You may land up with one of this. Okay, maybe not this, because this is basically illness. Okay, maybe one of this. Okay, so we do not know. And we know some of the biggest causes of all this, and it's beginning to surface. In the last 1 week or so, while I'm preparing for this, for some reason, the national paper seems to know I'm preparing for this. Our Singapore, I do not know what Malaysia is doing, but Singapore has set up a national mental health helpline. That's how serious it is. 1 in 3 youth in Singapore report very poor mental health. 1 in 3, and this is from the Institute of Mental Health, Sia Lang Keng, diagnosed with clinical depression. This person is normally very bubbly, very optimistic, very neat, a bit more on the OCD side. OCD is a very neat person, not OCD, but very neat and very organized. Suddenly, sleep the whole day, refuse to get out of the house. Sleep the whole day, still very tired. The room smells and it's in a mess. Okay, do not want to go out with friends, and spend the whole day just sleeping the whole day. These are signs of depression, clinical depression. Okay, and the reason why they go into clinical depression, because intervention was not done when they're still well. Okay, so and one of the article they wrote down here, it says, what do dementia and depression have in common? So what a lot of studies have found, if you read the article, is that those people who has a depression in their earlier lives has a higher tendency of going into dementia later. So like I say, it's a continuum. Okay, it's a continuum. Like our designed to treat a disease, but it's designed to keep your weight in check, to keep your body healthy so that you don't go into that area. And mental health is a continuum. Okay, we need to checkmate at the early stage so they don't go into that stage. And dementia is going to be a very big issue as the population age. Singapore population is aging, Malaysia is aging. The only population that's not aging is India. Okay, the rest are all aging, including Thailand for some reason. Thailand is very unique. Usually the developed nations will suffer from aging population. And one of the worst is basically South Korea, Japan. They have very serious of this problem. And you'll see more and more depression. And therefore, in my own opinion, privately here, we need to improve and make everybody's mental health to go into mental fitness. That's our direction. We want to move them to mental fitness, okay, in the early stage of their life, so that when they grow old, they don't go into that area, okay? And from depression to dementia, It's not what I said, it's all this specialists who wrote them in the newspaper and all this. We need to deal with that. Okay. Now, so here's some facts of what affects the brain and your mental health. What affects the brain and mental health? 3 things: chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and insulin resistance. These are the 3 things that affect your brain. And of course, with this, your mental health is affected. Okay. And oops. And all this has got to do with what you put in your mouth. Scary or not? Okay, there was an article written some time ago. I couldn't find an article. It was written by a psychiatrist. And this psychiatrist says, processed food equals depression. And the reason why he said, the reason why a lot of children are having depression because they're eating a lot of processed food. So it's got a lot to do with what you put in your mouth. Okay, not enough sleep and stress is what environment you're exposed to. Okay, your parents expect you to be a straight A student so that you become. My father tried lah. Of course, he failed miserably. He wanted me to be a doctor, a lawyer, or minimum accountant. End up cannot make it, so become engineer lah. 3 things, huh? So this is what your environment you're exposed to, all right? So it's very important to know that these are the 5 items that scientifically has been proven to affect the brain and thus the mental health. Okay. The question to you is, can you stop this? Do you want to know whether you can stop this? Let's check whether we can, let's see whether we can stop all this, right? First of all, let me introduce you to something called linoleic acid. The common name is called omega-6, or you can call it LA, linoleic acid, LA. What is this acid? What is this omega-6? Now, omega-6 causes inflammation by preventing the body from converting something called ALA to EPA and DHA. ALA, EPA, DHA is also called omega-3. Okay. ALA is a useless omega-3. For example, ALA is converted by gut bacteria from fiber. Okay. Or from, some people say some plants like flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts contain omega-3. But when it comes from plant, they are called ALA, alpha linoleic acid. Okay, it's called ALA. But for it to be beneficial to the brain and the body to lower inflammation, they have to be converted by a body to EPA or DHA. Okay, so that's the process. So your bacteria reacts with the diet, the fiber that you consume. So those people who are not consuming dietary fiber has a very high chance of getting mental health issues later. Okay, that's what it says. Or you take some flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts because the report says it has omega-3, but don't forget it is ALA omega-3. Okay, so what your body will then do is they'll take this ALA and they'll convert it to EPA and DHA. Now, EPA and DHA is omega-3 only in existence in animal protein, like the fish. Okay, that's why you call fish oil. They contains EPA and DHA. There's no need. You do not need any conversion. But if you take a plant omega-3, like flaxseed, chia, and walnut, it is ALA, the body has to convert. Now, omega-6 is a problem because it blocks the conversion. Omega-6 block the conversion. Okay, that's the problem of omega-6. That's why those people who take a lot of omega-6 tend to get a lot of inflammation. Now, you must be wondering, Oliver, very chim leh. Omega-6, what is omega-6? Allow me to show you. Okay, the other one is this. Omega-6 or this acid LA is very easily oxidized. And it oxidizes into a toxin called oxalam. Okay, and it plays a role in heart disease, fatty liver disease, and obesity. It makes you fat also at the same time. Okay, so this omega-6 is so dangerous, but the people say, why have I got to do with ALA? Why have I got to do with omega-6? Because safflower oil, grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, corn, all those in red contains high amount of LA or omega-6. Okay, while olive oil, avocado oil, lard, palm oil, congratulations, Malaysia, you're a producer of palm oil, and all the animal fat contains low levels of omega-6. Olive oil, there's a range because olive oil, very often today, they are mixed with all this oil inside there. There's adulteration, so people find a variation, but pure olive oil itself has only about 10%. Okay, you notice that what's the difference? Because olive oil, avocado oil, and palm oil is from the fruit. The oil is come from the fruit. The rest oil of this oil comes from the seed or the nut or seeds. Oil comes from seeds. A lot of that's why during supermarket walk, I did mention many times, please avoid vegetable oil. Okay, do olive oil, avocado oil. And I just came back from JB. I saw a bottle of red palm oil, and I turned to the back. They mix with cottonseed oil. They mix, campur. Don't ask me why. I think they want to lower the price. Okay, so people have been eating animal fat for a very long time. They don't get sick. The very moment in the 1920s when vegetable oil start coming in, the diseases start coming, obesity start coming in. Okay, so the question here is, can you stop yourself from eating this? The very moment you go out, you think your hawker use extra virgin olive oil to cook for you, meh? You think your chicken rice, they use avocado oil, meh? Fat hope, fat hope. It doesn't happen, okay? They're gonna use the cheapest oil they can bargain, okay? So remember that. Okay. And what about deep fried food, alcohol, smoking, ultra processed food leads to oxidative stress, insulin resistance, and inflammation. Like I say, anything that goes into your mouth, and you can't stop that. I can tell people this right now. The next moment they go down there, they go for tempura. Forgot already. Yeah, more calling a tai chi la, correct? Angie, more calling. You cannot avoid it one. So the answer is, if you cannot stop it, supplement it. What to do? How to stop? Literally, if I stop people from doing all this, they don't live like somebody in our society. They live like somebody in the jungle, It doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so it is difficult to stop. But first of all, from the bottom of my heart, stop using vegetable oil. Everybody, stop using vegetable oil. It's gonna get your whole family in trouble. Okay, you come home, when you cook, don't use vegetable oil, because when you go outside there, they're gonna feed you with vegetable oil. I just hope that your hawkers in Malaysia use palm oil, because it should be cheapest. Okay, I hope they don't go and mix it with other vegetable oil, because vegetable oil is the cheapest. It's even cheaper than palm oil. Okay, so I hope. All right, so let me play this for you. MYND360 is basically an acronym for My New Day 360 degrees. That means we approach it from a 360-degree angle. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's going to be launched in October next month. We have something for you feeling to get you to feel focused in your mind, really focused. This is my favorite, actually. It's my favorite. And then something for memory. Mindful is for memory. And then we're feeling calm. This is a stress management formula. All right, stress is the biggest killer out there in the environment. And of course, quality sleep. You don't take our night formula and fall asleep. That's called that's a sleeping pill. We don't do that. But you go into quality sleep. Okay, quality sleep. So we have all this. All this some people say, what if I was I take night because I have a sleep issue. That's why I take night only. But the rest of the mental the brain component is actually affecting your sleep. That's why they call it 360. It comes in a set. Okay, to deal with it on 360. Okay, one of the you may have a memory issue because you're not sleeping. Okay, because you're not sleeping, that's why you have sharp focus issue and so forth. So that's why they call it 360. Is we got to deal with it on a holistic basis instead of just isolating it. Okay, I hope you get what I mean, why the product is designed this way. Now, according to our clinical results based on this research, using these products, 89% reported feeling less drowsy when waking up, and 96% noted improvement in sleep quality. Okay, this is based on our research. This is company's document. And 42% self-reported improvement in everyday memory. All right, and 46% increase in BDNF. What is BDNF? It's called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Okay, there is a hormone in your brain that produces. Okay, when you are involved in learning and memory, that growth, that factor, that chemical actually improves in your brain. Okay, and the clinical trial detects it. Okay, it's called a growth factor in the central nervous system. So this one we leave it to the scientists. They just say we detect this growth factor coming out. Okay, after using our products. Okay, 98% improvement is HAM-A score. What is HAM-A score? It's a psychological questionnaire used by clinicians, specialists, to rate severity of patients' anxiety. So less anxiety, 98%. All right. And then 93% improve in HDRS. What is HDRS? Depression. Most commonly used instrument for assessing symptoms of depression. Okay. You see, the scientists will give you this and they won't tell you what that is. I will tell you what that is. Okay. I'll tell you what it is. And 100% of subjects saw an improvement in feeling of melancholy and occasional anxiousness. 100%. Okay. 73% self-reported RSQW. What is that? 9-item self-report questionnaire that measures the feelings of restfulness gained from sleep during past week. Okay, so these are all clinical trials. The numbers are for information, these numbers are classified as very high for clinical trials. Very, very high. Okay. So here's a question. So people ask questions. Okay, FAQ. Can MYND360 be used for dementia patients? So there are people who ask me, MYND360, my auntie dementia, I want to use for it. Okay, the answer is here. Or the next question is, can MYND360 be used for Alzheimer's patient? People who have Alzheimer's. What about a stroke? Half, stroke. Can use or not? What about my son is clinically depressed? Can use 360 or not? Or what about my auntie has bipolar, a bit siao one, okay? Moment very happy, the next moment very sad. No, this 360 is not this. Leave this to the professionals, okay? The psychiatrists or the psychologists, whoever are professional, leave this to them because they're clinical. They're called clinical situations. 360 is not designed for that. Okay, so please don't go around prescribing 360 to people with such issues. Okay, we will get everybody into trouble. Okay, don't do that. But what about the caregiver of the dementia patient? Any one of you here have been a caretaker of dementia patients before? Anyone? Any one of you has been a caretaker of dementia patient? Old people, the caretaker of old people. Do you know it will drive you crazy sometimes? That's why there's a Chinese term that says 久病床前无孝子. You drive the children, the failure children nuts. Okay, you have. Now, these caregivers needs our product. They are healthy, but they're getting stressed up. They're getting suppressed. What about the nurses in the hospitals? Have you seen how the nurses in the hospitals are being treated as? It's not just the patient mistreating the nurses. The hospital itself is mistreating. The hospital itself is mistreating the nurses by making them running multiple shifts because there's not enough manpower. Okay, what are our mothers? Children exam, mother stress. Children not stressed, mother stress. Okay, father can't be bothered. Fathers are stressed by something else. Okay. What about the wives? Women, based on study, women cannot stand it now when husbands sit down on a couch and do absolutely nothing. According to research, they get the most stressed. Wives get the most stressed when the husband is doing nothing, sitting on a cushion. So what about high pressure executive? What about exam stress? Teachers. Alfred gave up teaching after 14 years. If you ask Alfred or some of those people who have been teaching, you know how stressful. I'm talking about Singapore teachers. I do not know about the rest of the country. Okay. Extremely, and Ministry of Manpower is now doing something about. Tell me you don't have stress. Okay, don't be. I will use the word called. Don't be delulu. Delulu is a millennial term for delusional. Okay, no. If you don't have stress, the boss pay you for what? So they pay you because you take some stress from him. So that's one. It's a huge market itself. Okay, answering objections when you distribute the product. Some questions and objections will come up. And these are the common one. And I personally ask, because I have a personal session with Dr. Joe Cheng. So it was only me and him in the room with the toilet. Because sitting down there waiting for our turn. So I just throw a question at him. And one of the questions asked is, melatonin is addictive. Why use melatonin in our product? And the answer is melatonin is a natural occurring hormone in the brain, and it is being produced in response to when lights are turned off, darkness, okay? And it helps you with your circadian cycle. Medical journal shows melatonin that whether there's no medical journal, no medical research found that melatonin is addictive or you become dependent. No such thing. Moreover, our product only contain 1 milligram. Okay, so no way you're going to become dependent on anything. Research has also found no evidence of addiction or dependency on melatonin. No, there's no such clinical research. Okay, number two, there's 100 milligram of caffeine in your sharp focus. Isn't caffeine bad for health? I don't know, leh. I turn left, turn right, everybody drinking coffee, leh. Okay, so the answer is very simple. We have 100 milligram of micro-encapsulated caffeine to increase in our product to increase alertness, energy, and all this. Okay, this is what caffeine does, which is equivalent to a cup of coffee. But because it's micro-encapsulated, it releases caffeine slowly. Okay, it doesn't come in a batch. Versus when you drink a cup of coffee, every cup about 100 milligram of caffeine. Okay, so according to worldwide research, maximum 400 for adult, maximum 400 milligram a day. So ours is 100 milligram, which is well below the maximum 400. For the matter of fact, after taking that, you can have 3 more cups of coffee if you want to. But, you know, 1-2 cups will be more than sufficient. Huh? Okay. Now, magnesium carbonate. Wheeling, just remember, Wheeling, come to my house, 12 a.m., ask for a cup of black coffee. He drinks it and then he go and sleep. That one brain damage already. I no respond to the caffeine one. I don't understand. Can sleep. Okay. Magnesium carbonate is a poorly absorbed magnesium. This one, when you come to Singapore, the customer will ask you this kind of idiotic question. You know, why use poor quality magnesium in your product? Answer is very simple. The magnesium carbonate in our product, when mixed in water, fizzles and combined with the citric acid in the product itself to form a highly bioavailable magnesium citrate. Okay, happy? Happy, yeah? Okay. These are for analyzers, okay? How long does it take to feel the results? Well, feel calm at night time can be felt in a matter of days. In my case, it was almost immediate. Okay. As for the sharp focus, the clinical trials use 12 weeks as a benchmark. I asked Joe Chang, he said, give it a month. Give it a month. It's not immediate. It's not immediate. Okay. Some people feel immediately, but some people will take a month. So don't overpromise. Okay. So this is the 360. I call it the MP360, which is a program I've developed for our group to use. Basically, I developed this program because of the gut-brain connection. It's called Nexus. 95% of serotonin is produced by our gut. It affects the brain. In short, the brain affects the gut affects the brain. Okay, if your gut is not healthy, your brain is not healthy. So I've developed a program for us to take care of both when we launch this thing. Okay, so for example, the mindful memory and focus, you want to enhance it. It combines very well with bioginkgo and Cordymax because bioginkgo dilates the blood vessel, blood flows freely. Cordymax improve oxygen, it goes to your head, and when you combine with this, the effects is incredible. Okay, reset works very well with the calm because when your gut is healthy, the gut produces 90% of serotonin. Serotonin is a precursor of melatonin. It helps with all this, all right? And of course, mood management, those people with PMS, you know, PMS and mood swings and all this, our TRME CS control, or in Malaysia, you call CSL, works very well with Philcam because the saffron extract inside there has a calming effect. All right. So therefore, this launch in October, may I suggest MYND360, they're going to launch this. And it can be enhanced by, so you sit down and says, look, MYND360 is if you're interested in mind health, that's it. But what is your major concern? Oh, my major concern is, my memory, I get distracted, I keep forgetting. Then you say, this one plus this, okay? Oh, I have a sleep issue. This one plus this, okay? Oh, mood swings are, PMS are very serious, on this one plus this, okay? You can do that. And the very moment you decide, next month you decide to go on this, then our group will give you a MYND360 dietary and lifestyle briefing. Okay, there's a one-time briefing. We give you a piece of paper, you use it, and your gut health and your mental health will improve. Okay, so ours come with the program. All right. So I also come up with this. It's called Brain Care. If you want to take care of your brain, these are the 3 products. One of those things that brain requires, B6 and B12, is inside this thing. And these are anti-inflammatory and repair products. Okay. Now, this is the, I will issue this once I make it a bit neater, I'll issue to you. This is the briefing document. This is a briefing document. Once your customer buy the product, give them, don't brief them first and ask them to buy product. They buy product first, then give them this, because no use. Okay. Recommended to prevent accumulation of amyloid protein in the brain. Amyloid protein is the one that causes Alzheimer and dementia and all this. It's a protein that accumulates in your brain. And what to avoid? Refined carbs, refined sugar, gluten, dietary products. Then you can discuss with them all this, so that you have a value add to your customer, because if you're taking the product and you're swallowing this by the kilos, you may not see a very big effect. Okay. These 2 causes insulin resistance, and these 2 cause leaky gut. And leaky gut is also linked to insulin resistance. Recommend whole carbs, cooked vegetable, unprocessed white meats, and including seafood. Of course, being sedentary is a big problem. Okay, we recommend 10,000 steps a day. Avoid gaining body fat. Men must be below 20%, women below 25%. And this is where you can mention to them of our PGU program that helps them with all this, and lose some weight. Basically, if you lose some weight, you will help tremendously. Actually, obesity has a direct link to mental health. Believe me or not, obesity has a direct link to mental health. Okay. Of course, processed meat, smoking, alcohol, deep fried food, vegetable oil. Some of you are still drinking alcohol. My friends, take care. And vegetable oil that I mentioned just now. These are all oxidative stress, it causes chronic inflammation. And then we will teach them something called 3-2-1 sleep method. 3 hours before bed, no food or alcohol. 2 hours before sleep, no work. 1 hour before sleep, no screen time. The 1 hour before sleep, no screen time is the most difficult. It's the most difficult to most people. But we brief them on this so that when they say, hey, your product cannot work, I say, hey, you use one hour before sleep, you stop. 2 hours before sleep, still working. Okay, like that. So you can coach them, you see. And of course, the food, you're very familiar with this. This is our program eating plan, and without going on PGU, and they want mental health, I'm more than happy to help also, especially vegetarians out there. Okay. So now I'm going to bring in some sharers to share with you. They have taken the product. Okay, they have taken the product already, and they have some testimonials to share with you. Allow me to first call upon Elaine. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Elaine, okay.
Yes.
So tell me more about your testimonial of taking the MYND360. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Oliver. Hi, everyone. My name is Elaine. I'm actually very thankful that I can actually share this wonderful product to you. Okay. Can you see now? Actually, I love this one.
Can.
Yeah, nighttime. Okay. Basically, for my case is that actually I drink is like this is actually my second bottle already. So I'm actually very excited because whenever I make this drink, it has this kind of sizzling sound that comes out. It's actually as though I'm actually taking those kind of fizzy drinks. But I like the taste because it's citrus, something and then actually though they mentioned half an hour before your sleep. Basically, I think after I drink, I have this feeling as of I can actually sleep I can actually immediately go and sleep, but I still do my things. And then about half an hour later or so, then I go and sleep. Is that I'm a person, okay, I like to share is that I'm a person who I will definitely go to toilet once in a night. And ever since I take this, I wake up, I still do a little bit of things here and there. When the moment I lie down, I can actually sleep until the next morning. Because usually I do wake up to cook lah. So I actually tested out myself, say, hey, no agenda. 我要睡到自然醒, right? I can easily sleep until, believe it or not, 11 or 12 o'clock. I must speak a little bit softer. So basically, it's something that is it really allow you to sleep until 一觉到天亮, that kind of thing. No, but the alarm actually ring, I will press off and then I can still continue to sleep. It's just that, you know, I do have a commitment to actually, or rather have to wake up and cook for myself and for my son. So because my husband went to work. So for my case is yeah, that's why I love this product. Basically, please, where is it? Please do try it. Even here.
It's called nighttime. Nighttime.
Nighttime. This try is lovely. It's a very good drink, and then really make you sleep, and then 一觉睡到明天醒. And when I wake up, I don't feel tired. I'm energetic. Although sometimes, to be very frank with you, I sleep 3 to 4 hours. Even with taking this one, I need to wake up is because of some reason that I need to do, early some errands. I don't feel tired, no. Believe it or not, it's a very good.
Question, Elaine. How soon do you get the response after the first dose? Since the first dose, how fast was the response to you?
How fast?
You take a few days to see the first effect or a few months?
I think easily probably less than a week for my case. This one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then of course I do take the Fucam. I think this one Fucam is really wonderful. You know why? Even supposed to be, I don't know, especially after you take this, it calms you down as it's telling you, hey, stay calm, don't need to get so stressed up, that kind of things. You will actually tend to stay very calm. I don't know. Just believe it. Now sometimes I can be very kanchiong. But after taking this, I am more calm into handling things and doing things step by step. The nighttime. I will take the nighttime with a Fucam together. That's all my sharing. Thank you.
So this is Elaine. By the way, she's the one I'm saying she has an eating disorder. She can eat a lot of things, but still remain look like a stick. It's called this eating disorder to me.
No high metabolism. Yeah, anyway, I enjoy food.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thanks.
Okay. What about, okay, now the next one I want to bring is none other than our COE, Ong Hock Sing.
Hi, Oliver. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
See, I'm testing my headphone so that, later on when I talk, it won't be like intermittent. If you hear that it's intermittent, let me know, okay? Now, anyway, I came back from US. I took the sleep and the stress one first, the Fucam, for about a week plus. Then I take another two continuously and then together. So of course the sleep one is most effective lah. Almost knock me out every time within half an hour. And once I do a demo at 11 o'clock in the morning, and because I want to save it, I don't want to throw it away. I drink it, and I couldn't take my lunch. I just knock out. That's horrible, but I like it, especially at night. You can knock out straight one is good. But what surprised me was this mindful things, because when I was talking, I'm compared to the past. I used to really recall things very, very easily. Can tell story, the whole story can be in my head. Tell story without looking at any scripts or anything. But as the time go by, I tend to forget, cannot connect sentence, cannot connect the paragraph. I thought it's because lack of practice. Of course, this definitely lack of practice. But the other thing is, cannot recall names cannot recall dates. In a picture, the person's picture is so clear in front of me, I cannot call the name out. That's horrible. Especially when you're telling a story. Because a storyteller like us, you can give the context of the story, and at the pinnacle, at the peak of it, forget the name and location and the date and the time. And then the person look at you like so many seconds, 15 seconds, you still cannot come out of your mouth. Very embarrassing. So this symptom was very disturbing. I feel something is not right. And I don't know. I think I feel that must be because of this MYND360. No? 10 days after I take this MYND360, one day I was telling my daughter about Malaysia, all the prime ministers, the sequence, you know. And alamak, I can recall everybody, including Patla, you know. I was impressed by myself. And then, you know, followed by, I was trying to recall the words, how to write these words. It's much easier than my experience before. So it's true, it is very real, and it's bringing a lot of joy and happiness. I think if you have got this kind of issue, the MYND360 is going to help a lot. Yeah, that's what I say. Oliver, thank you.
All right, thank you, Okseng. It's very important when we get a bit older, our memories start to go. Sometimes it affects our storytelling, you know. It affects the way we communicate and we connect with people, because you just don't remember the point. Okay, so it's a very important.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we brought this from US, and I must say the nighttime formula was really good for jet lag, because I didn't sleep very well while I was in US. So when it came back to Singapore, I straight away take, and no jet lag. You know, I only take the nighttime formula, and really works. Yeah, so that give me the energy that I need. And I want to share, because last 2 months was actually a very traumatic period for me. And just within last 2 weeks, I actually lost 2 of my loved ones. It's my parents. Yeah. So you know, my dad, he went through an operation, and then we thought he was doing well, but then he got an infection in the hospital. And he has a medical history of COPD, which is the lung function was being compromised. So I was in the hospital taking care of him. And, you know, environment in the hospital was really not easy, and there's not enough nurses. And sometimes we were even, like myself, were even helping other patients. So I must say the field calm was really good. So I started to take the field calm. And of course, we take it at night. In the daytime, I went to take care of my dad. And then in the nighttime, I have to sleep, right? And I have to stay positive, you know, because I was, of course, still hoping that my dad will recover. Yeah, so that gave me the positivity, because in the hospital, the environment is not very positive, and you see many sick patients, especially the elderly. Sometimes they are alone. You know, I think my dad is very blessed that he has children with him. Yeah, then after that, it was my mom. You know, my mom condition also deteriorated. And yeah, and after my dad left on the last day of August, and I was quite surprised that within the month of August, myself and Oliver, we still complete 22,000 GSV. Is it 22,000? Oh no, 11,000. 22 blocks. Yeah, my memory is still there. Yeah, so I was quite amazed that we still focus, despite what's happening, we still focus to do whatever we need to do. Yeah, it was actually a very traumatic period. And then after that, it was mom that the condition started to deteriorate. And well, same thing in the hospital again, and I see a lot of things, and I realized the mental health, you know, in the hospital is not just physical. Beside my mom was actually a lady who is mental health. She was screaming, you know, I was taking care of my mom and then she was beside the bed. It was screaming all day long. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? So I was thinking of the healthcare worker, like the nurses, how are they dealing with that? And then I realized that she is actually a mental patient, maybe depression because she has psychiatrists interviewing them. And then a few days later after she left, another patient came in, is also some kind of mental illness kind of patient. I was so shocked. Yeah, so we were there, right? So can you imagine in that kind of environment, it's not very good vibe. So the MYND actually helped me a lot to make myself strong, to make myself, when I have a good sleep, when I distress myself after taking the few calm, the next day I feel positive because I need to take care of my mom. Yeah, and that keep me going. Yeah. And I was thinking that how can we help the people, especially the caregivers, because when I was in the hospital, I talked to other caregivers. Not every of them was like us, you know, because we have 5 brother and sister rotating to take care, and I met this lady. She was telling me she's alone. She has 2 sisters, but never turned up to take care of the mother, and she's alone. And she was saying, your mom is so blessed, you know, she's always surrounded with people. Yeah, so I would think that this MYND would help a lot on these people that need it, because mental stress is really not easy. Yeah, it got to be very mentally strong, and I must say the product helps a lot. Otherwise, I'm not sure what happened with me now, because actually when I was taking both my dad and mom, I go home and cry every day because I saw them suffer in the hospital and I can't help. The only way is I pray for them to be free of suffering and, you know, to recover. Yeah, but I guess that month has gone to a better place now. Yeah, so I'm okay. Yeah, so I wish we can help more people, especially now. I think in Singapore, there's in need of this. Yeah, even young people is having also mental health issues. So we need to help them before the condition become worse. Yeah, that's all for my sharing. Thank you very much. Pardon me. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, I witnessed this throughout a few months, so I'm numb to it. Anyway, my own testimonial, my favorite is actually my focus, what you call sharper focus. I think this one, Glenda should be the one giving the testimonial also, because she's in a car nagging at me for turning the wrong place all the time, you know. So she should be the one giving me the testimonial. But it has happened. It has not happened since we started it. So that's my favorite one. So anyway, I think that's all I have for you, right? Yes. Heng bo liao. Okay. So